get you to shut it up with your dear husband. Bob Haley, happy Bell. So, Fred, I will do that. Nice to meet you. Okay, guys, we're going to go. Okay, sure you'll hear from me. I love it, Dave. It's such a very important thing. It's like Mark. Yep. Well, then you hear I like, yeah, tears again. Many years. Sir! The rage. I think we have two separate strategies, two separate choices, and they're different. You know, so two real choices. As the thing here has been pretty much outside. I'm ready to roll.
Oh, no. The introduction is, this is Bob Haley. And this is Mike Marshall. They are. I'm gonna let them expound upon who they are and what have you. But Bob has been a professional PGA golf rep for many years. Bob is a very old person, by the way. So I can
That's the truest thing you just said.
I can get away with a lot of years as a PGA professional. Mike is the young guy.
He's the young guy.
Yeah, he's a young guy, and that Marshall Enterprises.
Marshall Hotels and Resorts.
Marshall what?
Hotels and Resorts.
Marshall Hotels and Resorts are in the leisure business, obviously. So there's a match there, and they manage a lot of hotels, motels up and down the East Coast, specifically in Ocean City.
We've got, we're opening the new Holiday Inn Express. We've got the Paris Plaza Inn, Grand, the Hampton Inn Suites. We've got the Hampton Inn Salisbury as well.
Okay. So I'm going to turn it over to these guys, and they're going to make their own presentation. Thank you.
Good morning. I bet you all are very, very good at this by now, so I'm expecting some great questions, and we'll leave plenty of time for the questions. First of all, thank you very, very much for coming out. This is very important to you all. It's very important to Mike and I, and especially come out on Valentine's Day.
Since we're streaming, and want to make sure.
Hello?
Yep, it's on.
Okay, hopefully everyone can hear me. But thanks for coming out on Valentine's Day. It's very, very important, Mike and I. Mike grew up in this area right here. He went to Worcester Preparatory School right in Berlin, Maryland. So this is home. He started, he started work here at 14 years of age. His father was Chuck Marshall, general manager. I believe it was the first one. He was the first one that Ocean Pines Association had. Before that, it was a gentleman by the name of Jerry Schwab, and he was the gentleman that hired me. But if you'll be kind enough to look at Michael's resume, if you could start on the back, would be probably the best. He is the president and the CEO for 15 years of the $165 million company, which is Marshall Hotels hotels and spas. And you can see, his education from Washington and Lee, but he did go to Worcester.
Well, back then it was supposed to country.
Yeah. Worcester,
When my kids just graduated, it was supposed to prep.
So he's a local boy. He really knows this area extremely well. And if you turn over, you can see he has worked his way up in the hospitality business. And everybody basically is in the hospitality business. A golf person, hotel person, restaurant person, whoever it might be, it's all about the hospitality business and making the customer consumer happy. That's what it's all about. So maybe you can read this evening when you get home. But like I say, it's a $165 million company that's located in Salisbury, Maryland. Mike lives at Glen Riddle, so he's right down the street. We're fortunate enough to be picked. He'll certainly be here a lot. I live in Maryland. I live in Bethesda, Maryland. I will be here a lot as well. They have over 50 hotels. And like Jack was saying, 5 of them are within just a few minutes of here. And I just stayed at the Paradise Plaza last night. Saw the most beautiful sunrise this morning that I've seen. Many of you were up at 6:52 this morning. It was spectacular. I've stayed in 3 of his hotels. I've stayed in the Hampton Inn in Salisbury, and I stayed at the Grand. If we can get the hospitality, the education, the warmness of his people here, this will be an extremely successful project for us. As Jack said, when you can start, I guess, at the bottom of mine and work up as well. I've been married for 38 years now. This is 32, so this is a little old. I was 40% owner of the Bay Club. Put the shovel in the ground in 1988. Opened it in 89. I was fortunate enough with Sport Haley, the company that we started in 1992 and published in 94, to see that the golf industry was going in the wrong direction. So I was fortunate enough to sell the product of golf course. Josh Freeman unfortunately passed away. The Freemans have Bayside, they have Fairtrap, and they have Merchandiser of the Year, of course, was here at Ocean Pines in 1981. I left here in late 81 to go with Eyes on the Tops. Have been a Class A professional. Actually, my card says 1973. I came 1972. Billy Casper, Dean Beeman, Marty West, and I golf course in spring of 72. Only 9 holes were open, so we played the front 9 twice. Billy had a 5-year contract here, and he came 1 week a year. He got a townhouse.
Timeshare. Yeah, I'm sure it's now.
We didn't call them timeshares. We call them Border Lakes. Border Lakes. So he owned a Border Lake, and he loved to fish down here. He was a great guy, and I was sorry to see him pass. So my resume is on here. Probably the main reason that I'm involved standing here today is Ocean Pines gave me my start. If it wasn't for Ocean Pines, maybe all this other stuff would not have happened. I met my wife 40 years ago, right outside that door, about 20 feet right there. And Ocean Pines has just always been great to me. Tom, Terry, and I talked about the possibility of coming down and talking to you, Bob, the manager, and we're just very, very happy to be here. Of course, a special thanks to Jack Collins. He has worked extremely hard on this. Tom Terry has been his right-hand man as well. Thank you to the rest of the...
Don't tell Tom that. He gets insulted.
Well, I'm sure that he has also. I've had phone calls with Jack. That's the only reason I say that. you all, as you know, you have a Robert Trent Jones gem here. I mean, it's in my opinion, it's the best layout, hole for hole, in this whole area now. And I think it just needs to be shined up. Basically, all it has to do is have to be shined up. And what we would basically do is, first of all, stabilize the operation. We've got to get it back to a break-even situation. For this golf course, this operation to lose money is ridiculous because it doesn't owe anything. Most of your competition, they owe the bank a lot of money. I've had negotiations, Tom Clark and different things. He owes a lot. He's paying a lot of money to the bank. So you're in first place as far as not being in debt. It's huge. Even the club that I belong to, a 117-year-old club back in Chevy Chase, Maryland, we had to take a $30 million loan to redo the clubhouse. As far as I know, there are no loans here. So I mean, you're way, way ahead of everybody. We've got to get the membership back. Talked to Hunt Crosby, who followed me here. I talked to Buddy Sass. I talked to Rob Bailey at our 20 years in our club. Way, way, way too many Ocean Pines people. It's ridiculous. I mean, you've got best golf course anywhere around here. And, I mean, for them to drive somewhere else, I couldn't believe it. Huntley told me, I don't know if he was exaggerating or not, but he had over 1,000 people, you count husbands, wives, and children, that played here, that prepaid. Buddy Sass said it was between 750 and 800 people here with Buddy Sass. I know it was a long time ago. I know the competition has gotten much, much tougher. And it's very good. There are awfully good operations down there. There's a lot to compete with. But it's ridiculous for those people to have left. And Mike and I are going to do everything possible to get them back. That would probably be one of the very, very first things that we do. We'll send out emails, we'll send out written letters, inviting them to come back, cocktail parties, the golf pro plays a couple holes with them, whatever it takes to get these people back. And we know it'll take time. It won't happen in the first year. It may not happen in the second. They have friends where they are now. They've made friends, and there's 20 of them playing. I think Bob told me he has over 60 people that live in Ocean Pines, and I think Buddy Sass had more than that. So it won't happen overnight, but we're certainly going to do that. And the only way to do that is to have the best golf experience in Ocean City. When I first talked to Tom Terry on the phone, to me, everything is about the experience. It's not about parking your car first tee. Everything has to happen perfectly in between. If you talk bag person, got to have a smile, got to have a warm welcome to you. I mean, it has to happen, and it can happen. All it takes is training. They have to have training. They have to have education. So I'm skipping all over here, as I always do, but that's me. Mike has watched what happened down here over the years. He's been here since he was 14 years old. He started working here. I was shocked, actually, when I went on to golfnow.com and I saw the views of the other golf courses rated way, way ahead of Ocean Pines. Should never happen. Should absolutely never happen. This place was the second golf course built in this area. Ocean City Yacht and Country Club was first. Ocean Pines was second. So, I mean, you had a head start. You should have 500 to 600 members here. Maybe some of you don't want it to be a private club, but that would be Mike and I working towards that. We might have to take it where it's 5 days a week, 6 days a week, where it's private. 1 day a week, take in the outside for revenue. That's a possibility, but it should always be worked back to be a private country. Let the other people take care of the hotel hotels and just people that drive down. Yeah, like I said, it's, I left here in 2000 when we sold the golf course at Bay Club. I left. I was unaware. I knew there was a lot of competition. I knew there weren't enough golfers, but I had no idea. If you'll turn to the page that has golfnow.com, Saturday, October 4th, 2014, please. For the last 6 or 8 months, I've been going on to golfnow.com because it is one way of rating golf courses all over the world, not just down here. And Rum Point, whether you talk to Pam's Packages, whether you talk to Harrison, whether you talk to Ocean City Golf Getaway, is today best experience. If you look across, you'll see the rating there. It's a number of stars that Golf Now puts out. They get 4.8 out of 5. There were 60 reviews on there October 4th. They had one person that would not return. The second rated golf course down here is Lighthouse Sound. And you can see 4.7, and it goes down from there. I wanted to find out what people were charging at different times. So I went on October the 1st to look at October the 4th. And Rum Point, 149, Lighthouse, 169. So that tells me product over price. Why are they getting so much more money? And from what I understand, Rum Point is making money. Lighthouse Sound, I'm not sure about it. The customer drives everything down here. They have too many choices. They're only going to maybe come down, play 4 rounds of golf. So they pick out 4. Sometimes they call a hotel. Sometimes they call a golf shop. So on January 25th, 2015, I went on to golfnow.com, and that one person that had said you were not coming is no longer online. And I hope some of you go home tonight, go on to golfnow.com, read the reviews of all these golf courses, read them on Ocean Pines. Ocean Pines, it's not terrible. I mean, I'm not going to say they're terrible, because they're not. It's just that the other ones are better, and they shouldn't be. I mean, you can't accept mediocrity. So January 25th, and I'm sure nothing's changed because the weather's been so darn cold. They probably haven't had any of these people haven't had any reviews. It was still Rum Point, Lighthouse Sound. He was landing moved up. Bayside came up a little bit. Ocean City, Baywood Greens, for whatever reason, moved down a little bit. But you can see the rates of return. Bear Trap Dunes, Glen Riddle, Bay Club, Ocean Pines, and River Run. If you will turn that page over, if I wanted to be fair, I know that 12 and 13, 2012 and 2013, we're redoing greens, we're doing drainage of fairways, and bunkering. Bunkers being changed. So what you'll see here is Ocean Pines reviews on golfnow.com January 25th. And what Michael and I are going to, I will call him Michael once in a while. He likes Mike, but his father, always called him Michael to me. So he's always Michael. But Mike and I agree that these 6 categories right here are probably the most important categories at any golf facility. Pace of play. Now, I will say, in this area, it probably gets the lowest rate. It's probably not just Ocean Pines where the slow play. Everybody that I talk to, there is slow play all over all these golf courses down here. So what Mike and I will do, this comes down to education and communication. We've got to get people, everybody here has to have a smile. That doesn't cost a nickel. And the person has to have the right personality when they go up to people. So Mike and I have to get the right people driving in the golf cart around. and it's the tone. You know, it's so much about your tone. Some people can say the same thing with the right long tone, and it comes out completely different. So that is the first thing that we try to take care of. Number two, course condition. Everybody that I've talked to, and all these other people, everybody to a person has said improving, getting better, get better, get better. So the only way that we can continue to make it better is for the golf professional, myself, Mike, and the superintendent to have meetings. You got to sit down and talk. And that's going to be the advantage of Mike being here and me coming down a lot. At the beginning, there's going to have to be an awful lot of education, what's expected. Not just for the members, but for the residents, for the guests, and the resident that just comes down to have a cheeseburger. They have to have a great experience. Because if they don't, they tell somebody that tells somebody, and then all of a sudden, it's a reaction. So the golf course condition is getting better. These are the grades that Ocean Pines got in 2014. And there were only 3 out of 33 that will not come back. And that was, unfortunately, the lady that if you go on there tonight, her name is still on there, and she's Frederick, Maryland, and she's not coming back. She was here October 29th of 2014. And what they do is the most recent is one they started. And then it goes all the way back to July 26th, person from Pennsylvania. You can read about that one. April 11th, 2014. Anything below 4 is not acceptable. Are we going to get a couple slow plays that maybe say 3? Yeah. I mean, it's going to have to happen. There's going to be some slow play. Especially, this is kind of a hard golf course. You can get your ball in the woods, and if you got a money match going, you probably want to find it. That's going to be probably the one that's going to be the most difficult to take care of. As far as course condition, if we can bring the people down from the University of Maryland, turf and agronomy, we can bring people down from Penn State. I mean, we don't have to be geniuses here. There are a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge and have no problem sharing. There are other superintendents in this area that are very well thought of. Bring them over. Let's talk about it. Because I know I talked to Tom List, who was my superintendent when I was here, and he told me that evidently 9 holes are bent, and then 9 holes are a combination of 3 different grasses. You still have to do the drainage, and the bunker on roughly 9 holes. I'm going to off by 1 hole or something like that. But great news is Tom List loves working 20 hours a week. He's in Florida right now, and he loves working 20 hours a week. So you really have 2 great superintendents here. So that certainly is a plus. Staff friendliness, again, the smile. And that, the entire staff, that's not just the pro shop. That's the person outside that gets your bag. He might be the most important person. That's the first person everybody sees. Person taking the clubs out of your trunk. There has to be an education. There has to be something that is expected. Staff friendliness. Now, one of the ways that, one thing that we're definitely doing, if we get this, we will have secret shoppers. There will be people that will come into the pro shop, come into the grill. And then they will give a complete grade. Nobody on the staff will have any idea, not even including the head professional, will have no idea who these people are. You have to have secret shoppers. I don't care what business you're in. Number 2, as long as we can afford it in the budget, I would like to have a video camera at the pro shop, and I'd like to have. Now I've got to find out what will that cost down here. I don't have. I have a number. Washington D.C. A friend of mine does that. Hopefully, it's less expensive down here. Runs about $3,000 a camera back there. I'll be able to look on my phone. I can be in California, and I can see exactly what is happening in the pro shop and in. we ever get to where there's one out on the first stage, maybe. But there's 2 cameras right now, mainly to see what's going on. But my dad was a CPA, and he always said it's our job to keep honest. And I think if there's a camera there, the honest people stay honest. And so it sounds like something maybe you haven't heard or whatever. These are just things I believe in. You may not believe in them, but this is what I believe. Value for the dollar, freight rates. Probably the best value in this area. It's going to be hard to improve it. The only way we can do it is to improve the experience. That's the only way, because this is already a great value. Quality of food and beverage. I was disappointed to see some lower marks. Again, you'll see how many underneath there, how many people that their food and beverage. There are nine people out of 24. Not everybody, not all 33 of these people came in to have a hamburger, whatever. So you improve that, first of all, by buying quality meat. Having the right person in there with a smile to greet you. And can't have a $6 hamburger ruin a X number of dollar experience. If they go away, with a bad experience with food and beverage, and that just doesn't. Overall condition of the facility, this is everything. This is cart pass. It is the cart barn. It is the maintenance shed. It's the parking lot. It's not just the clubhouse or the golf course or whatever it might be. The board knows that I would like some money to refresh the downstairs. That's just me. I think it needs refreshing. Doesn't need anything major. Certainly doesn't need to be knocked down, anything like that. But I think it needs to be refreshed. My personal. Go back to the front page there. Just we'll briefly talk about dollars. What I've done is give Mike's and my best estimate as what we feel you will do for May 1st, 2014 through April 30th of 2015. As of December 31st, you had $1,122,600. Our best guesstimate, and we don't have the exact figures broken down monthly from the year before, but I had to just call different people and kind of get an idea of what you might do, and came up with $300,000. So it's $1.422,600, which is a lot of money, but it's not enough to have this facility the way that you want it. It's about $110,000 short of what it's going to take to run this operation. So I've shown you here income per round, number of rounds, and total dollars as to what it will take. That first year, which we just talked about, roughly $110,000 loss. Our first year would be roughly $34,000 loss. Not going to be able to come in here the first year unless we're awfully lucky and turn everything around. The following year, which is 2016-17, small profit, and then more profit. There's never going to be a lot of money. There's not a lot of money in golf down here, or anywhere. I shouldn't say here. Anywhere. The golf industry is hurt. 2012 was the first year that there were less people playing golf than the year history of golf. And that has continued. And we all know why. It's too expensive, it takes too long, it's too hard. It's a horrible business model. But everybody in this room, including Michael and I, would love it. So that's why we have to be the best to overcome all of the I know one of the questions that the board had asked was as far as the transition. And I'd like Mike to say a few things about if we're fortunate enough to get this as far as the transition, because Marshall Hotels and Spas would be extremely involved in that particular part of what's going on. I know when Mike's dad, Chuck, was around, he always wanted the board to come up and see the building in Salisbury, Maryland. It's a phenomenal building, a lot of fantastic people.
Rambling. Just to give a little more background on my company, it was started by my father in 1980, shortly after he left Ocean Pine, First Community Man. But we changed our company from Marshall Management Inc. to Marshall Hotels and Resorts because we did get involved in a lot. We actually replaced Billy Casper at Green Hill about 10 years ago, maybe even 12 years ago. Got them to where they're making money again, and got to walk away from this because I was a member there at the time, so it just wasn't any fun anymore. But we've managed golf courses up Poconos, we were a quarter-point receiver for a country club, Binghamton, New York, Vestal Hills Country Club. That receivership ended last year. So we just don't do hotels. I mean, we're a hospitality business. The fact that we have 700 hotel rooms on the shore gives us innate ability to market Ocean Pines to a larger group of people. We feel that there's a lot of programs that can be offered through our hotels, through the guests, to help sell rounds at Ocean Pines. I have hotels in Manhattan. I have hotels, across the country, but there are a lot of feeder markets to Ocean City where we have built-in sales and marketing staffs, where we can help, we cross-promote all of our hotel resorts. So there's a lot more to me just being the young guy in the room than what would bring to the table. As far as the transition, I've got a vice president of operations that lives in Ocean. I've got another one that lives in West Ocean City. I live in Glen Riddle, as mentioned before. I've got people down here that live here that are in my accounting team. I've got 2 CPAs on staff. We're here to take care of the nuts and bolts of the operation, as well as to really oversee the food and beverage operation. I'll let the golf stuff, even though I am a golfer and I do know what I like, but I'll let the training of the staff and everything go to Bob. But we'll be here on a much. We're close. We can keep an eye on things. It's to me, and I talk to my friends about this. I mean, again, we're golfers. I was a member of Green Hill for 25 years. Been a member of Glen Riddle for the last 3. Ocean Pines was the preeminent place to play golf for years, and it's lost that. And if there's some event going on at one of the clubs that myself or my friends are members of, nobody ever thinks, well, let's go play at Ocean Pines then. Nobody thinks that. It's lost the luster. It's no longer a cool place to play or a fun place. You feel like you're not wanted, number one. The golf course is still great. I mean, I played here this summer. It's an awesome experience. But nobody ever thinks to play. And because you're not getting the outside play, and because your membership is so low, you're never going to make any money unless there are some changes made. And I know you guys don't want to hear that, but the whole reason why the board opened up this topic of discussion was because they were at a dead end. I happened to be involved. My father got involved. My father loves this place. It helped springboard his career. Bob loves this place. It springboarded his career. I was 14 years old. I was shagging golf balls on the range. That was my first job. So there's a place in my heart for it too. So, I mean, I'm sure we're going to get some questions, but that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Very well done. I don't know how we're doing time, but I think
you only have an hour left.
Yeah, before we get to the questions, I mean, I think big advantage is you will have the principals here a lot. Other management companies just don't have the luxury that Mike and I have. I mean, it's just, they just don't. They're managing a lot of golf courses. Our focus is going to be this place right now. And the reason that I'm here is I love this place. This isn't about making money. You know, Bay Club was very, very nice to us, and when Sport Haley, the stock. I'm here because this place. When I say number one, I mean it's going to take a long time. It's hard. It's going to be very hard for this place to be number one. Because I had no idea how good these other places were. I had to talk to a lot of people. They say the experiences are very, very good at other places. The only thing we can't give them, if they want a bay to look at, that's the only thing we won't be able to do. But everything else will be better. Questions, please. Throw them at us.
Bob, what we have to do, because we're streaming, is the questions have to go into the mic.
Okay.
So if you could pass it around.
Sure. Come on. You know, there's got to be a bunch of them. Okay. So the TV people didn't hear a word.
And I like the people from the other groups here too. One question that the board, say that somebody's taking care of the other company, the previous one, they had their own greenskeepers and all that. Casper has their own group, will hire them. Yes. Now, I know Ocean Pines pays all the bills, but say that it did happen a couple of years back. Never came up where somebody, say that you're pouring chemicals, and you as the greenskeeper screw something up, like put in 2 quarts of something instead of 1, and the green dies overnight. Now, that comes out of the budget. Does Ocean Pines pay that? Would they have something at a cost? Or if you're responsible for those guys working, and you, out of your own, would have to pay that?
That's a fabulous
And I think it happened here one time, or happened, and nobody seemed to know. It's like a big cloud went over. Where did the money? Who paid? Yeah. Because the people that poured the wrong thing in, it shouldn't be that management company.
I understand that completely, but Ocean Pines okay.
Even if you guys would screw it up.
Sorry.
You think
we would purchase insurance.
How about from the other company? Would they jump up and their guys pay for it or not? We know that? You're saying we don't know. Would the board hold it? Would the board differ with you?
Well, I mean, one of my best friends in the world is the president. Yeah. Since I was years old, I could not imagine. I will certainly call him, and I will find out. But I would bet. Yeah. I can't answer the landscapes of Lincoln. They're out in Lincoln, Nebraska. I've heard of them. It's a great question, and I certainly don't blame you. That's a good point. We lost 9 holes at Columbia Country Club this year and didn't, and the superintendent get fired. It's a good thing I wasn't on the board. He still has his job, and he makes a lot of money, and it costs a lot of money to our club.
But that's self-contained, and that's your money.
Yeah.
This is all residential.
Absolutely. No, I perfectly understand. That's a fabulous question, and the honest answer. I guess it would come under a capital group, capital fund.
I wanted to thank Bob publicly. The first golf lesson I ever had was from Bob Haley. Thank you, Bob.
Did it work?
And then I went to High Crosby.
Bob, point of fact, is not true.
You need lesson 2 now.
Lesson 2.
I know you mentioned Tom Les. If you and Mike take this over, would Tom be coming back as the golf superintendent?
He wants to come back exactly like he is right now, 20 hours a week.
Okay.
I'm going to say 6 months a year, whatever it is. 20 now. He loves what he does. And,
He's a good man.
Yeah, I've talked to him quite a bit, and he's the one that's really been feeding me. I haven't felt comfortable talking to a lot of the people right now because we don't have anything to do with this right now.
Understood.
I have met John downstairs, but so none of that, no interview, nothing has happened.
So just dovetail that you don't know who new golf professional might be.
Anybody that's here will certainly get an opportunity. And if they get an opportunity, and if we feel that they're the ones that can take it to the next level, by all means, they're staying. Yeah, that's and like I say, it wouldn't be fair for me to say anything that I don't know. Met John, met Scott, Zach. Three.
Thank you.
Just downstairs. Great questions, I think.
You're welcome.
You would hire a golf assistant, though, in addition. He wouldn't.
Oh, forget it. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have mentioned Tom List. I mean, other than
he's a consultant.
Oh,
he's a consultant.
I guess he punches your holes. He's just a worker bee. That's what he is right now. And he thinks the world of the superintendent. Is it Rusty?
Rusty.
He gives him a high grade.
Tom just wants to cut the grass. Clarify that.
Cut the grass. There you go.
Okay.
So I should have brought that in. He will not be the head superintendent. Yes, sir.
Hi, Mike Barrs, my name. Could you quickly explain how the ratings that are on the probably the second page where it goes from 4.8 down to 3.9, how those ratings were done? I can't see the class.
Are you on the October 4th or the January 25th?
October 4th.
October the 4th. Great question. Starting with Rum Point, it gives you the different prices right there. The rating, they're stars. When you go on...
Hold on a second. Okay, so you mean these ratings are strictly on the price of the mounds?
No, they have nothing to do with the price. No, sir. No. It's just according to when you go on to golfnow.com, which advertises a ton on Golf Channel. The number one rated golf course in this area is Rum Point. They get 4.8 stars out of 5. 5 is that's why I should have told you that 1 star is 4, 2 is below average, 3 is average, 4 is above average, and 5 is excellent. I should have said that.
Okay, but the stars that you have on the last page that pertains to Ocean Pines solely don't tie into any of these numbers. Couldn't get them to tie in. I don't.
So this is just to tell you and show you pace of play. You got one. You had one person out of 33 gave it 1.
Okay, so pace of play, but is this number? Aren't these out?
Well, no. This is an overall rate. This is not pace of play. This is all 6.
Yeah, all 6. So how come the all 6? If you count up the number of people reporting here, doesn't come out from the 1 to 47.
No. Again, what I did, I eliminated 2012 and 2013. I didn't think it would be fair to you all. You tore the greens up, you tore the fairways up. So a good question. I'd rather do now. So yes, it's not 47. The overall, when you go on there, there'll be 47 reviews. But to be fair, I eliminated 2012 and 13. That is only 2014. 1 year, not 3. Good question, though. Thank you. This is 3. You know, there's got to be a lot more questions.
Okay, my question is, the present course conditions that happened by accident, I wonder what you guys think of the present course conditions and how you're going to go about improving them.
Another great question. When I drove the course, I've only driven it this spring. It was in May, And I told Tom List, he was on the cart with me, this is as good as I've seen this golf course in a long, long time. And in answer to your first question. Your second question is, when we sit down with the superintendent, whether it's Rusty or whether it's somebody else, we have to come up with a game plan to improve the, I'm going to say 9 holes, I think that's what it is, that have not been redone. But maybe your main question is about, we would not close the golf course. The golf course would stay open. We might talk about, I saw your 19th hole, which I thought was wonderful. That was not here when I was here. Possibly closing 1 hole at a time, possibly. But again, I will have to get with the superintendent, who knows an awful lot more about this golf course out here than I do right now. I can tell you got something on your mind. Go ahead.
Okay. I know when you manage a golf course, there's a lot of aspects that you have to look at. And again, I'll go back to the same question I asked the other groups. Why do you think coming in here you're going to be up to snuff on the cultural practices that it takes to manage this specific property? I just simply feel that you're going to have to overcome a lot, and it's only going to take time. And I think as a result, the rest of us are going, or the playing conditions are going to slide backwards as a result of that. That's my gut feeling.
Now, they will slide back for what reason?
Because over the last 4 years, Rusty and his staff have identified the problem areas of this golf course and identified a program to maintain around those. And I think that takes a while to develop that plan, and they've executed it this year, and that's why we've seen the conditions that we saw this year, is because of that insight that they've developed over. And if anybody's played the course recently and looked at the tree removal and the other areas, like high wear areas that have always been a problem, he's always addressed those, and he's addressing them currently. And I just think that he, in his head, knows where he needs to go next year, and you guys will come back and have to rewrite the whole book on it.
It sounds to me like you feel that Rusty will go with Billy Casper.
I have no idea.
Why? I don't either. I have no idea. But if Rusty is the right person and he's doing a great job here and he wants to stay here, Rusty's staying. I agree with what you said. I have no problem with what you said. I agree. It takes a lot of time. He knows more about what's going on the golf course out there than anybody. Now, if he comes to me and he says, Billy Casper wants me to go to XYZ, then maybe I have to offer more money. You don't look happy. I want happy people.
No.
I know what you're saying. No, it's just that if he leaves and goes with Billy Casper, I mean,
he should leave anyway. That's the nature of the industry.
I'm not talking about that. Suppose he leaves. I guess what my question is, how are you going to replace that expertise when it walks out the door?
Right. And one of those things is the continuity of Tom List, who understands it as well. And I'll give you another anecdote about Tom List. White Horse Park Trail, I built as my Eagle Scout project at 15. He helped me with the heavy construction equipment. So there's a tie here that goes back to when the course was in its heyday. We're trying to bring that back. I understand what you're saying, but I have that same problem with Motel 2.
I mean, we would certainly get a very qualified superintendent. I have no idea whether he would leave or not. I have not. I've never met the gentleman. I didn't think it was fair for me to go down there in the position that I am. And you're 100% right. I mean, I'm sure he's been doing something for the number of years that he's been here, and he knows what he's doing. And Sharon had asked in the meeting with the board of governors, about us having a smaller budget. We want the golf course to be better. It has to be better. The competition's too good down here. For us to put a unqualified superintendent in place would be that's the gem out there. The rest of it we have to do correctly here, but the gem is the golf course. And, I will, if anybody's, has no problem with it, I'd be happy to call Rusty and see, do you love living down here? Do you not? And then I could have an answer for you. Because, I could tell you would like for Rusty to stay. And I think it would be excellent if he stayed.
All right, let's.
I have a quick question. You mentioned you want to make this a private club or a private.
Well, that's a goal. It's going to take a long time. You have the perfect model right up the street. I don't have any folks they have in there, but I know they don't have as many as that. And everybody that I talk to, which is not a lot, the members there, they just love it.
The second part of that question, it's going to take a long time to get there. How do you supplement with outside play? Do you have connections like Billy Casper or someone else has?
I got better connections in this community than Billy Casper has.
I'm not talking about this community. I'm talking about outside play.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, that's a great question. Mike and I both feel that whatever amount of outside play is needed, we will not have a problem getting it. Again, because we're down here, we're going to contact all the golf clubs, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington. Let them know that those country club members, they're welcome down here. I think Mike brought a good point up. A lot of people don't know they can play here. They just think of other golf courses, and I think that's going to be our job. And Mike has a huge marketing company, so getting the word out and getting the right people here, again, will take a little bit of time, but I think that's a better question up here is about the golf course. That's the one I can't answer about Rusty. I just don't know.
I give you an example. Again, I got 700 hotel rooms. A lot of people travel down here. They've got, their cars full of all kinds of beach stuff. They can't fit their golf clubs in the car. I put a brochure in the hotel room that says, hey, listen, come to Ocean Pines. We'll give you free rental clubs to play. And all of a sudden the husband says, hey, you know what? I don't want to sit on the beach again today. I'm going to head over to Ocean Pines. So that in-room marketing, the different ideas that we can have, just even to get membership back up with some free golf lessons, with some beginner golf lessons. There's a lot of things that can be done to entice people to come out here to play. If they have a good experience, that's going to want them to come back. That's going to give the word-of-mouth marketing, which is by far the best marketing that you can do in today's age. I mean, anybody can surf the internet, but if you get someone go back home, say they come down from Hagerstown or something, they come back and they tell all their golf buddies, man, I played at Ocean Pines, it was awesome. They treated me great, great price value, gave me free rental clubs because I was staying at one of these hotels. Yeah, it actually helped me too, because you don't want to stay at the hotel again, so they get that deal. Because that deal's not going to be offered to everybody, but it's an enticement to help get people in.
Are you going to cater to the members as Billy Casper has done? An example, members get advance starting time. We are able to call in 7 days in advance. Outside, call 5 days.
I talked to Walter, who runs Ocean City Golf Getaway. According to him, and I don't know, that has been moved up to 14 days. Does anyone in this room know if that's true? Well, I think Walter would know.
I don't have any idea. You and I have known each other a long. I'm 86 years old. All I'm care about is playing golf.
I would think Walter would know that. There's tee times and all that has been moved. I understand it started 7 days if you go to the shop, 8 days if you go online, and Walter Brooks at Ocean City Golf Getaway, that has actually been moved up to 14 days now. Kind of surprised nobody in this room.
Is that for packages or visitors?
Is that up?
No, what happened? happens at that time, right now, their tee times, everybody else's tee times are on something called T-Link. And yours are on Easy Link. And according to Walter, the Harrison group, they both told me that will hurt their business because now person at such and such hotel has to pick up the phone and call the pro shop to get a tee time. Their people are not going to do that. They're going to go with the easiest way, which is going on the computer. So to this gentleman's point back there, I mean, these are things that we need to talk to because it will, person that comes down 3 or 4 days, 5 days, decides to play golf, is going to have a tougher time. Hopefully, do you understand that? I mean, these the Harrison Group and Ocean City Golf Getaway and Pam's are cut off 7 days earlier now than they were last year. So I don't know who did that. I'm kind of surprised. Did you know about that?
No, that wouldn't be package play because package play obviously is booked months in advance. So so this would be the guy or family that comes down at the last minute and is looking to play golf at the last second.
Yeah, Nancy Duffelmeyer runs all that. She does 30,000 rounds of golf a year. She lives in Ocean. She used to be a member here, and she was not real happy about that. I mean, it helps you, Spider, is what it does. It gives you an extra week. And the person now that does come down Friday and wants to play on Saturday, they're going to book it someplace else. But I'm going to sit down with the board. Mike's going to sit down with the board, and then your 7-person, what do we call them? Golf 7.
Golf Membership Council.
Council. These are things that we have to sit down with the council because right now I don't think anybody knows that, and I don't know why Walter would tell me that if it was not true. This group from 7 and 8, now it's been to 14, so it would hurt the packages. Not so much the packages, but the people that come down at the last minute. So in that way, it's better for you. In answer to your question, are you going to be able to play golf? And that's all you care about, so that's great. That's, and that's why we all have to sit down because, it's been losing money. And as long as it's okay to lose some money and have it subsidized, that's fine. So we all have to get on the same page. Please, some more questions?
You want to wrap it up, Bob? These people have had a long day.
Thank you very, very much for your time. Michael and I would be honored. You gave us the management contract. If not, I certainly understand. I'm still going to love Ocean Pines. Michael is as well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for Sharon. I didn't really get to say hello to you. Hi, how are you? But good luck on your decision. I'm sure you'll do the right thing. And if I could get your card or something, I'm going to call Rusty, and I'm going to call you back, and with an answer. He may say, Bob, I'm going with Billy Casper, and I'd be honest with you. He's going, wherever he goes. But he might like living here.
Is it correct to say, I keep going back to that question in my head, and it's a question. So Rusty's plan A. Do you have a plan B? I mean, you said there's a lot of golf superintendents out around that are really good. My experience here, 4 years for it, we've had really good. What is your plan?
By being in the industry as long as I have, I would be happy to, as you as the president, to tell you personally, but I'm not. I can't say
okay,
it. I can't say it. I could say it to you, and then you can take it from there.
You have some confidence that you're specific.
Yeah. But, if Rusty is as good as this gentleman says, I mean, I'm going to do everything in my power and Mike do everything in his power to have him stay here. Because that's the most important thing right out there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are there any last questions? me or Dave or any member of the board or anything? Suzanne,
I do have a question
for the board.
for the board, the members that are here.
The board, just the members that are here.
When are we going to have a decision as to who is going to manage this golf?
Oh, I knew somebody.
This time next year. It'll
February
be
30th.
definitive this time next year.
Let me, basically, or our biggest difficulty now is the right to budget site. Wait time. But trying to get a time when everybody will get together. But the answer is 1 week.
I'm sorry?
Is
1 week.
We will know 1 week from today.
Is Friday out of the question, Dave? This coming Friday?
Friday's when.
That's at 8:30.
If we have a vote at 8:30 on Friday, there's no reason we can't get it on Wednesday.
Are you going to take
Well-
input from people who are at this meeting?
What we want to do is,
Good question. Good question. The best way you can do it is
what was the question, Dave?
are you going to get input from people at this meeting? And I was going to mention that anyway.
Gotcha.
Yes, directors.com.
All right.
Email it, questions or observations.
No, directors at oceanpines.com.
Okay, Sharon.
No, they're going to go the wrong place.
That's not right either. Fair, that's not right. It's directors at oceanpine.
.org.
.org.
Directors at oceanpines.org.
Directors